Hello and welcome. My name is Kathy A, and today this is the third part of my series of Foundation Wars. Of course, in the first one I had done all my favorite high-end brands. The second one was all my favorite drugstore brands, and now this third one is all the powder foundations, which were not covered in the first two. And all of the powder foundations, I had 19 of them. They come in a range from the cheapest drugstore online powder foundation to expensive high-end brands. The pricing ranged from $4 or $5 to $70, and I can tell you that not all of the really expensive ones held on well. So one of the main things I think is important to mention with foundation is skin type. Now, I have found that some foundations are horrible on my skin and my skin type, but other people on YouTube love them, and they've actually won awards through Allure magazine and other places. So I know it's me, it's user me, and my skin tends to be on the dry side. I have a lot of age spots and wrinkles. There's a lot of unevenness, and then at different times of the month I do have trouble sloughing off a lot of the dead skin cells. So I've been practicing the identical skincare throughout all of this test, and that was, my cleanser was the CERA Hydrating Cleanser. I think it's a really good all-purpose cleanser. It gets off a lot of the makeup, and it works really well, and it doesn't have any harmful ingredients in it. I totally recommend it. It's a drugstore product. You don't need to go really fancy with a cleanser. I always, and I did this every day, this is the Mizon Apple Smoothie Peeling Gel. I use this every day. Put a little dime-size amount in your hands and rub it in circles all over your face, and it balls up little skin, makes little skin balls out of your dead skin cells. It really pulls off those dead skin cells, especially around the nose, the chin, around the edges of your head where you tend to have excess dead skin cells that don't come off naturally, and that's something that happens as you get older. It just doesn't come off that easily. So this is a really important step. If you have dry skin and you're finding that none of the foundations, liquid or powder, look good on you, it's probably a skincare thing, and I'll be the one to tell you. Mizon Apple Smoothie Peeling. It's like 10 bucks for the tube. I get it on Amazon. It's really cheap. I'm not sponsored by them. I should be, because I always talk them up. And they never sent me anything ever. Afterwards, I like to replenish the moisturizer. I did not use any skin treatments during the time I was testing these foundations, because I think that using like a retinol or a rosehip oil will affect your skin condition, and that could actually affect how the foundations look. So I sacrificed and didn't use any of my skin treatments during the month that I was testing all of these. I did put on this moisturizer every day, and this is the Jane Iredale BeautyPrep Facial Moisturizer. That was given to me by my friend Corinne for my birthday, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm just using a teeny bit at a time. I hate to use it up because it's one of those expensive face creams. So for application on each of these powder foundations, if it came with an applicator, I used the applicator it came with. Some of them had little brushes, some of them had these little kind of spongy things, teeny tiny ones in some cases. And when they didn't have something with them, I like using a brush to put my foundation on. It buffs it into the skin. So I use like a dual-ended flat top kabuki type of brush. This is limited edition Real Techniques. Real Techniques is my favorite brush company, so this is what I used. And just before I put any of my powder makeup on, I used the Cinema Secrets Moisture Spray. It's like a primer spray that adds just a little touch of moisture, and it sinks into your skin, and when you put the makeup on over the top, you've got a little chance of having some moisturizer there. So that's what I used every day. So there were 19 powder foundations. I used 2 each day, one on one side, one on the other. Went the whole day with them, and in some cases it was so bad I took them off like an hour after I put them on and put different ones on before I went to work, because I just wasn't going to go through the day at work looking like I was looking. So some of them were surprising, but powder foundations, especially mineral powder foundations, are all made out of the same sort of things. There's certain rocks in the ground that they grind up and process that make like a, oh well, it's a cosmetic dirt, a cosmetic clay. And these go into your skin, and they are the basis for a lot of the liquid makeup. So a lot, you know, if you're thinking, oh well, I don't think I could ever use it, it's actually the same stuff that's in the liquid makeups, except you don't have the liquid part. And so it can work really well with your skin, or it can agitate it, or it can look chalky. I found all these things to be true. Sometimes it can improve your skin. Some of them had SPF in them, which is another kind of rock that comes out of the ground that they grind up. And all these things are rocks, I know. So I want to start it off and just tell you that I did them all the same way. I've speeded up the application. I will do a voiceover, and I'll explain what they claim that the makeup is supposed to do for you, and then I'll tell you what my experience was. And I can tell you that 90% of my experience was pretty much the same with a lot of them. It looked chalky, it didn't last very long, it went on unevenly, looked patchy, there wasn't any coverage over my age spots and things like that. Now I do have some under eye creases, I do have age spots, I do have lines around my mouth, and around my nose always seems to get patchy looking. So I had all of these makeups competing with each other to make sure my face looked good, and 4 of them did. 4 of them worked really well. So I will be back to tell you who the winners are.
Laura Geller Balance-n-Brighten Baked Color Correcting Foundation. A revolutionary baked foundation with multiple color infusions to color correct your skin and give you a glowing, flawless-looking complexion. Mineral oil and paraben-free formulation also contains powerful anti-aging and antioxidant protection of Centella Acacia and white tea extracts. Features a matte finish. Well, it went on smooth and felt velvety. The color was a little dark for fair. Covered in 1 coat, and it had excellent wear. 6 hours or more, actually. I really like this one. NYX Stay Matte Powder Foundation. Want a matte finish to help you achieve flawless looking complexion? NYX Professional Makeup Stay Matte but Not Flat Powder Foundation provides the perfect finish to flatter more skin tones than ever before. You'll look naturally flawless with minimal effort. Well, it went on sheer and required 3 coats for coverage. Matte finish with a slight dewy look. It really was powdery around my nose area and wore down patchy. By lunch, all my blemishes and redness showed. Did not like this one. MAC Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation. A 1-step powder foundation that gives skin a smooth, flawless, all-matte finish with medium to full coverage. Long-wearing, velvety texture allows skin to breathe. Available in a wide range of colors. It went on velvety and natural in a 1-coat coverage. It was a demi-matte finish, great natural-looking coverage, 8-hour plus wear with no breakdown. It blended well and looked good with other makeup on top. Loved it. Cover Effects Pressed Mineral Foundation. Available in 40 global shades, this talc-free powder foundation provides buildable matte coverage that doesn't look cakey or dry. Kaolin clay absorbs oil and ensures a long-wearing matte finish. Well, it went on smoothly, but it needed 2 coats for coverage, wore off patchy, and looked blotchy after 4 hours. Absolute New York. Get flawless on the go with this lightweight powder foundation that delivers comfortable, buildable coverage that boasts a matte finish that retains skin's natural radiance. The unique perfecting formula is infused with a blend of emollients and finely milled pigments that adhere to skin, instantly diffusing imperfections without emphasizing pores or fine lines. Well, I bought this at IMATS, New York. It's very powdery and matte. It clung to all my dry patches, caked around my nose. I just didn't like this one at all. It was really disappointing, and I had nose marks from my glasses. CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Compact Powder Foundation. Ready Set Gorgeous Powder Foundation covers of a liquid makeup and controls shine like a powder. Even skin for a fresh natural look, and extra fine oil absorbing powders control shine, oil free and won't clog pores. Well, it was very powdery and matte, clung to dry patches, looked chalky on the skin. I hated this, and the other side with the Absolute New York, and I removed both before I went to work. MILANI Even Touch Powder Foundation. The makeup equivalent of soft focus lighting, this medium to full coverage powder has a hidden agenda. It conceals your imperfections to reveal an enviable complexion. MILANI Even Touch Powder Foundation is highly blendable and can be used as both a setting powder and a quick touch-up throughout the day. It went on patchy, matte, and it looked like I had dirt all over my face. I wore down unevenly in 1 hour, so I took it off before I went to work. Such a disappointment. BareMinerals Foundation. This is the original. Broad Spectrum 15. With just 5 pure ingredients, BareMinerals SPF 15 delivers flawless coverage, and the creamy minerals are clinically proven to improve the appearance of skin over time. It looks like a powder, feels like a cream, and buffs like silk, giving skin a natural luminosity while feeling as if you are not wearing makeup at all. Hardly any coverage, shiny, and exaggerated my pores and lines, sunk into deeper lines even after buffing out. It was a hot, shiny mess. I removed this and replaced it before work. Physicians Formula Talc-Free Mineral Loose Powder. For extra sensitive or breakout prone skin, Minimalist Formula helps reduce irritation and breakout, offers the performance and coverage of a foundation with the blendability and natural finish of a loose powder in one easy step. Innovative sifter lid helps contain the mess. No, it doesn't. Brush snaps in place for ease of use and convenient storage. It's awful. It's the worst brush ever. It shed and it smelled like an animal. Just like a whisk broom. Powder covered nicely and it did not sink into lines. It did not last on my skin more than 4 hours, and at lunch showed the redness breakdown on my chin. A real disappointment. Ulta Mineral Powder Foundation. Ulta's Mineral Powder Foundation is made with pure crushed minerals and soothing extracts of chamomile and ginseng, ideal for all skin types. Achieve long-lasting, buildable, lightweight coverage with a natural finish. Soft and creamy texture applies effortlessly, covering blemishes and evening out skin tone for a flawless look. Beautiful coverage, though it was a little too shiny and satin-like. It lasted several hours, but all my wrinkles and dry patches seemed highlighted, and it did not sink into them. Other makeup went over this nicely, and I actually had to powder it down. This is Pure 4-in-1 Pressed Mineral Makeup. This is the 10th anniversary edition. It's a best-selling cult favorite mineral foundation, gets a 10th anniversary makeover. Adored worldwide for its lightweight feel and no mess, no stress application, this all-in-one foundation, concealer, powder, and SPF is clinically proven to correct, prevent, and interrupt your biggest skin concerns, even after the makeup comes off. Well, it went on smooth, had medium coverage, buildable. It didn't sink into my lines. It was great on pores. It lasted 5 hours, but my chin and nose broke through. But it did have a beautiful finish. This is the Body Shop All-in-One Face Base. The All-in-One Face Base is easily blendable with a smooth, velvety finish, a hard-working foundation, and powder in one. This versatile product can be used in a number of ways for your perfect finish. Wet the sponge that's included in the compact and apply for high coverage. Want your makeup to stay put for longer? Dust our All-in-One Face Base over your skin with our face and body brush to set foundation. It was slightly dry and it clung to dry patches, sheer to medium coverage really, lasted about 4 to 5 hours, and it left nose marks from my glasses. And the color, of course, was way too light. L'Oreal True Match Powder Foundation in N3. It went on dark and patchy. It didn't blend well. It lasted 7 hours. It didn't look good with other makeup on it, but it didn't sink into my lines. The dark patches made my neck look dirty, and around my nose looked very unnatural. A real disappointment. CoverGirl Clean Powder Makeup. Won't clog pores, hyperallergenic, dermatologically tested. Covers like a liquid but goes on powder light, so the look of tiny flaws, oil, and shine seem to disappear. Clean powder foundation is hyperallergenic and won't clog pores for an even skin tone and beautiful matte finish. Well, it went on too sheer, and after 3 coats, it just looked like chalk powder. It was like I wasn't wearing anything. After a while, I had to remove it and put another one on before work. I couldn't go to work like this. IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation Illumination. This is the next generation of IT Cosmetics Full Coverage Anti-Aging Foundation. It's truly 30 seconds to full coverage and illumination to your skin. This illuminating formula features the same good-for-you, skin-loving ingredients you have come to know and love with original Celebration Foundation, such as collagen, peptides, antioxidants, and drops of light technology, just to name a few, but with the added element of illumination to add a subtle touch of radiance to your skin. Well, it looks beautiful in one coat, but the shiny fish scale finish was under my eyes, made them look like they had lace. Pretty long lasting, but that lacy look under the eyes and the fish scale shininess, it just exaggerated my scars and large pores. Very disappointing. Jane Iredale. This is the PurePressed Base Mineral Foundation. Reap all the benefits of a foundation, concealer, powder, and sunscreen in one convenient, easy-to-apply product. Infused with antioxidants, micronized minerals, and physical sunscreen, this all-in-one powder masks imperfections like lines, large pores, and uneven skin tone, while arming you with the essentials to keep further damage at bay. Designed to mimic the look and feel of skin, this powder provides sheer, buildable coverage with a semi-matte finish. Well, it covered well, but clung slightly to my dry patches. It had a matte finish. It lasted about 6 hours before my red chin, broke through. There's no harmful ingredients in this, and it's a great product. Lancome Dual Finish Multitasking Powder Foundation. Discover the best-kept secret of millions of women for over 30 years. The versatile skin-transforming formula wears so many effortless ways. Apply dry or wet as a powder or foundation for a natural matte finish. This portable compact is perfect for quick touch-ups and comes with both a puff and a sponge to build sheer full coverage. Well, it had a matte finish. It looked like skin when applied, and it covered in one coat. There was no powdery finish. It needed a slight touch-up of the blemishes at lunch, and it wore down after about 7 hours, but I did like it very much. And last but not least, Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation. Powered by Amazonian clay and light-reflecting gemstones, this hyperallergenic foundation gives you natural radiance and matte coverage in a weightless, flake-free powder. The full coverage formula is all you need to cover redness, unevenness, and pores, with Amazonian clay to help control oil and make your makeup last. Precious gemstones tourmaline works to energize skin and diffuse light for a natural dimension, and the custom mesh applicator offers buildable and breathable coverage without settling into fine lines. This had one-coat coverage, great under the eyes, did not sink into my lines. It was a flawless finish. I looked healthy and radiant all day. Even though I have dry skin, this powder foundation worked excellent. I loved it. 8-hour coverage.
So I hope you're not too bored watching me put powder makeup on my face. Man, there were some mornings I'm looking at myself, I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, There was one makeup that was so bad, I took it back to Sephora, and there were two reasons that it was really bad. One was that it went on and it looked like dirt on my face. It was terrible, and it was from Sweat Cosmetics. I'll show you the picture here. And it was, I think it was like $28 or something. It was a little refill jar. They have their own little get-up that they have with their regular size makeup, which is far more expensive. And they have their own applicator. It just went on so badly. And I did film putting it on. It was the day before our stager came. And she came and she had me boxing up everything, every excess thing. And I boxed a lot of stuff up. And I started to move around my SD cards and all this stuff, and the film of that got erased. It got lost, and then when I found it, I thought it was an excess film from some other video, and I erased it. So I don't have the footage from it, but I can tell you it was terrible. And the expiration on it was 5/17. 5 of 2017, and I bought it in 5 of 2017, and that was the expiration. So some of the makeups now are coming with expiration dates stamped on them. Have a look at them just to make sure you're getting a fresh product, because that could have made the difference in how well it worked as well. I wasn't going to buy it again to give it another chance. Now, I've tried a lot of powder foundations in the past that are not in this group, but because of my experience with them, I just decided not to include them again, because I already knew they weren't that great. And why do you just want to see me doing one bad one after another? I don't know. So I think 19 is quite enough. So there are 4 top performing powder foundations. Number 4 is Lancome, and this is the Dual Finish Multitasking powder. I'd actually just got samples of this because I didn't want to invest any more money in this powder makeup before I knew I would like it. I actually would go buy the full size of this. Number 3, Tarte Amazonian Clay. This is the full coverage Airbrush foundation, and it is a clay-based powder foundation. Very good for you, really good. I like the company, and this looked fabulous. It lasted probably, I think, the longest out of all of them. It lasted the longest. It looked great, and it was number 3. Number 2, L'Oreal Balance-n-Brighten. I had dissed this in the past because, again, my skincare wasn't good, and when I had put this over the top, it was all patchy. So when I upped my game here with the skincare and put this on, it works really well. It lasts a long time, and it's a really nice finish. It's sort of matte, but it's a natural skin look. It really looked like my skin was healthy, and I like that. It's not overly made up looking, and it worked really well. The winner, and number 1, was not the most expensive either. It is MAC Studio Fix, and this is the Powder Plus Foundation, and it is a primer and a foundation in one. I put it on with the little spongy that it came with. It works well with a brush as well. It lasted all day. It had great coverage. What made it special over the other ones was you get a lot for your money, and you have a good lasting power with this. And I liked the creamy feel of it. I thought it was great. But it lasted all day. It's a good value for the money, and it just looks fabulous. And I totally recommend this. Number 1 is the MAC. So if you liked this Foundation Wars video, please hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed to me yet, why not? This coming weekend, I should be having a new video out with some new products from some new lines that Ulta is carrying, so it should be a lot of fun, maybe kind of a discovery type of video. I hope you all are having a wonderful week out there. Take care, everybody. Have a beautiful day. Toodles.